This is Africa. Frederick Douglass, the Lion of Anacostia. In the annals of American history, the life of Frederick Douglass stands as a towering testament to the indomitable human spirit and the pursuit of freedom against all odds. From the shackles of slavery to becoming a revered statesman, orator, and abolitionist leader, Douglas's journey encompasses the complexities of the 19th century American experience. Born into bondage, he emerged as a lion-hearted advocate for equality, leaving an enduring legacy that transcends time and continues to inspire generations. This is the compelling narrative of Frederick Douglass, a saga of resilience, intellectual prowess, and unyielding commitment to justice. Frederick Douglass was born in Talbot County, Maryland, United States of America, around February 1818, into the harsh crucible of American slavery. His birth name, Frederick Augustus Washington Bailey, was a label imposed upon him, a symbol of ownership rather than identity. The exact date of his birth remains uncertain, but Douglas chose to celebrate it on February 14th, a date that held significance for him. Separated from his mother, Harriet Bailey, at an early age, Douglas grew up in the shadow of brutality, witnessing the dehumanizing effects of slavery. His early years were spent in servitude to various masters, each contributing to his understanding of the institution's cruelty. His determination to escape the bonds of enslavement was ignited during these formative years, fueled by an innate desire for freedom and an unwavering belief in the power of education. In defiance of laws forbidding the education of slaves, Douglas embarked on a perilous journey to acquire literacy, an odyssey that would shape the contours of his destiny. Mrs. Sophia Auld, the mistress of one of Douglas's masters, played a pivotal role in his clandestine pursuit of knowledge. She, unwittingly, at first, initiated Douglas into the world of letters, teaching him the rudiments of reading. The acquisition of literacy proved transformative for Douglas. As the flame of knowledge illuminated his mind, it also kindled the spark of rebellion. The more he read, the more he yearned for liberation. Knowledge became the catalyst for his emancipation, empowering him with a clarity of thought and an eloquence that would later captivate audiences worldwide. In 1838, Douglas seized an opportunity to escape the clutches of slavery. Disguised as a sailor, he traveled by train and steamboat to the free states of the North. Arriving in New York, he embraced the profound sense of liberation emanated from the city's bustling streets. It was in New York that Frederick Bailey adopted the surname Douglas to protect his identity and elude the grasp of slave catchers. Douglas's escape marked the beginning of his life as a free man. However, the scars of slavery remained etched on his psyche, propelling him into the tumultuous world of abolitionist activism. Inspired by his own quest for freedom, Douglas embarked on a mission to dismantle the chains that bound millions of enslaved individuals. Frederick Douglass's foray into abolitionist activism coincided with the burgeoning movement to eradicate slavery. His eloquence, intellect, and magnetic presence made him a powerful orator and a formidable force in the fight for emancipation. Douglas's speeches, marked by their impassioned pleas for justice and equality, resonated with audiences transcending racial boundaries. One of his most notable speeches, the narrative of the life of Frederick Douglass, an American slave, delivered in 1845, became a seminal work that exposed the brutality of slavery to a global audience. Douglas's ability to articulate the dehumanizing aspects of slavery made him a compelling voice in the abolitionist movement. In addition to his oratorical skills, Douglass actively participated in the Underground Railroad, an informal network of safe houses and routes, facilitating the escape of enslaved individuals to freedom. His own experiences as a fugitive slave fueled his commitment to assisting others on the path to liberty. Douglas's advocacy for the Underground Railroad underscored his belief in direct action and the imperative of assisting those in immediate peril. His involvement in this clandestine operation further solidified his status as a prominent figure in the fight against slavery. The outbreak of the Civil War in 1861 presented a critical juncture in the fight against slavery. Douglass, ever the protagonist, recognized the strategic importance of aligning with the Union cause to secure the emancipation of enslaved individuals. He became an advocate for the enlistment of Black soldiers in the Union Army, arguing that their participation was crucial for both military success and the eventual demise of slavery. Douglas's path intersected with that of President Abraham Lincoln, and their interactions would leave an indelible mark on history. While Douglass criticized Lincoln for his initially cautious approach to abolition, he also acknowledged the president's evolving stance and commitment to emancipation. President Lincoln's issuance of the Emancipation Proclamation on the 1st of January 1863 marked a pivotal moment in American history. While Douglass recognized the proclamation's limitations, viewing it as a wartime measure, he understood its symbolic significance. The proclamation declared enslaved individuals in Confederate held territory to be free, signaling a profound shift in the nation's trajectory. Douglass, however, continued to advocate for broader and more concrete measures to secure the rights of Black Americans. His vision extended beyond the abolition of slavery to encompass the principles of equality and civil rights for all. With the end of the Civil War and the ratification of the 13th Amendment in 1865, slavery was formally abolished in the United States of America. Yet, for Douglass, the struggle for civil rights and equality was far from over. He fervently advocated for the ratification of the 14th Amendment, which granted citizenship and equal protection under the law to all individuals born or naturalized in the United States of America. Douglas's commitment to civil rights extended to his active involvement in the women's suffrage movement. Despite some ideological differences with suffragists like Elizabeth Cady Stanton, Douglass recognized the interconnectedness of the struggles for Black emancipation and women's rights. Following the Civil War, Douglass embarked on a diplomatic mission that would take him to Haiti, the Dominican Republic, and other nations, serving as a United States minister and Consul General, Douglas aimed to strengthen diplomatic ties and promote the interests of Black Americans globally. His diplomatic service reflected his commitment to international solidarity and the promotion of human rights. Douglas's interactions with global leaders further solidified his status as a statesman, transcending the boundaries of national identity. Frederick Douglass's later years were marked by his prolific writings, including his last of three autobiographies, Life and Times of Frederick Douglass, published in 1881. His commitment to education remained unwavering, and he became an advocate for educational institutions for Black Americans. On the 20th of February, 1895, Frederick Douglass passed away at his home in Washington, D.C. His death reverberated across the nation, and tributes poured in from all corners of society. Douglas's legacy endured not only through his family, but also through the institutions he helped shape and the principles he tirelessly championed. Frederick Douglass's life encapsulates the struggle for freedom, the power of education, and the relentless pursuit of justice. From the darkness of slavery to the corridors of power, he navigated a path that inspired millions and challenged the very foundation of inequality. Douglas's legacy extends beyond the pages of history textbooks. It lives in the ongoing fight for civil rights and equality. His lion-hearted roar against oppression echoes through time, a reminder that the journey towards justice is arduous but imperative. As we reflect on the life of Frederick Douglass, we are confronted not only with the atrocities of the past, but also with the enduring resilience of the human spirit. The lion of Anacostia may have rested, but his roar reverberates, urging us to continue the pursuit of a more just and equitable world.